Hello, Internet. It is me again. Whatever I feel like calling myself today, either Colin, Tucsonian Eskimo, or Razkun. This is going on the Tucsonian Eskimo channel, so let's go with that, I guess. Just call me Colin. That's really all that needs to happen. I got a weird video for you today. Hopefully I'm going to make a playlist out of this. Start with a little bit of a story here. I have a paint program open here. This is Fire Alpaca. Not paint. So we're gonna start by let's make little dude be me. There's my hair. That's about what it looks like today. Yep. Maybe this because I don't get a haircut. And there's the little derp here. And because OCD. All right. So be me. You're a dude or whatever. And you have this idea, and it's a big one. Ding! Look, it's a light bulb. You have this big idea. You have been playing video games and watching anime for so long that you think, I can do that. I can make one of those. They're fantastic. Everybody loves these. I love them, so, and everyone else does, so it's great. I want to make that. I want to be a part of the thing that I spend most of my time enjoying. It's great. And so you come up with this big idea, and you think, "Yep, this is the one. This is what I want to do, and it's I'm gonna be known for in my life. It's what everyone is gonna love. I want to be one of those people that make the thing that I spend all my time watching and loving." And so then you get some like notebooks and whatnot, write a bunch of them, lots and lots of pages over and over and over. You got one floating through the air or something like that. Woo, there's a ton of these and lots of crumpled up paper because you know you have bad ideas, but that's part of the process. Apparently 10 programs are currently slowing me down. It's probably OBS, Fire, Alpaca, Blender, 90 to 500 tabs in Chrome. It's probably a couple of those things. So you fill out notebooks, lots of these ideas. It's going. You spend lots of time on it, like years and stuff. You've been thinking about it for a long time. You made up some silly characters or something. Ooh, there's a thing. He's got some spooky hair, and you learn the programs. There's that one. Yep. You learn the programs, and you think you can do it. It's time to do it, and let's go ahead and so it's time to get serious to do it. You got this big idea going in your head of some characters. You got a whole world built up. You're ready. Whoa, because that's a hand. That's important. You'll see in a minute. Whoa. Oh yeah. He's got some spiky things here too. He's got this thing going on, and some of this. It's not a diaper. He's like a superhero or something. Ooh. Whoa. That's cool. Oh, that's happening. Yeah. Stuff going on. Woo. And like a big bow or something. Ooh, on his back. That's the stuff. So you got this big idea going. You got a whole world set up. You're ready to get started. And then because the world is so big and getting so vast in your head that you decide instead to play Destiny instead. Woo! That's what you're doing. Yeah! You actually spend almost your entire day all the time playing Destiny because you're an adult now. It took you so long to get started on this that you work like 9 hours a day Oh, oh, he looks really sad. He's like scanning stuff at a register and whatnot. To boop, boop. He's got this little vest on that says, "How can I suffer today?" Um, you know, he's spends all of his time there, and by the time that he gets home, does he want to do something that requires more work and work on that idea, or does he want to sit down and play Destiny that always makes him happy all the time, and you know, have fun times like this? Just like that. That's a clip of playing Destiny, having fun. It's great. Love it. Makes us happy and feel relaxed. And so then by the time you're done playing Destiny, you get this feeling of going back to work. You're getting nervous. You're dreading having to do this again for another 9 hours for 5 days in a row. And can only imagine the different things that you're having to put up with. You're having to do the scanning. You got a whole line of people. You got the phones ringing. You gotta run like their app now, because that's what stores do. You gotta do the app, and you're handling lots of money that you know you're never trained to do this because they don't want to pay you. And then you're tired again, and so you come back home, and you think you're gonna do this, but really you just do this.
Yes. 3 down.
So it is Sunday night. Luckily not as late as I thought it would be for me doing this. But I go to work tomorrow, and so I'm getting that feeling again of that wonderful anxiety. And honestly, you have no idea how much I'd rather be playing Destiny right now. It's really sad to think that this dream that I've had for so long, I'm going to pretend that I even have the mental energy right now to make bubble letters. Woo, that's a thing. You've had this dream for so long, ever since being a kid, and it's what you've always wanted to do. You've wanted to be an animator, you've wanted to be a game designer, you wanted to be a storyteller, you wanted to make something and really feel like people like what you're here for. But in reality, someone out there says, hey, I will pay the bare minimum of your bills if you sacrifice all the energy of your life to come and scan items and talk to people on the phone and be yelled at. It's really sad that, you know, the thing you are most interested in, you don't have the energy for anymore. You don't have the desire, you don't have the motivation. It's not there anymore, and you think that you'll get to it one day, but here it is, like 8 years later since you got started learning the program. That's Blender. That's Blender right there. And you still haven't done anything. And so, like I was saying earlier, having such a big idea that it is so daunting, and you feel like you don't even know where to begin on it. I have began a little bit. I got half a notebook full of some ideas like story arcs and some world building type of things, but how do I get myself to move further from that? How do I write the story better? How do I know that this is even worth trying out? And so I have to take this gigantic idea, which I'm going to represent as a cube for some reason, and I have to condense it down into something smaller cube, because that's a cube. It's nice and square. It's easier to handle. So this is what I'm going to do with this playlist, and I don't want to get myself too hung up on making behind the scenes for it. It's just a fact that I've learned of myself that I work better. I am more motivated to work on this dream that I have when I am recording it for YouTube for some reason. I always thought, hey, double whammy. YouTube gives you money sometimes if you follow their whatever and things. So let's make something big that people will like and get money. But hey, whoa, other idea. Behind the scenes, it's the same thing, but you get money twice. So it's a weird formula, but it's been that way for a long time for me, that behind the scenes type of stuff, I can't even get myself to work on this unless I do this. And so even if I don't upload this, I just need to have something filming me as I go to get this done. So that's what I'm doing here. And so with this playlist, I'm going to condense the big dream, the big idea, the big world down into something smaller, something easier for me to work with. I am going to make a proof of concept, meaning the gigantic world doesn't matter so much in this. It's not canon. It's just like a test to see if what I got going on will actually work, and if it's okay for me to continue with this. And if you don't really know where I'm starting with this, here is what I have in Blender right now. This is probably the best character I've ever made in Blender. I've only tried like 3 or 4 times over the course of my experience here in Blender. I can put up some pictures of my previous attempts, and this is the one that so far is doing the best. However, he is not completely done. As you can see, these empty boxes next to him here. I still need to work on rigging up his face and some hair animations to make it so that he can fully function in an animated environment. This was me testing out an add-on that is honestly kind of saving my life in Blender, because this kind of thing to set up manually is very hard to do. And so here's what I'm working with, and maybe his rig isn't super perfect right now. I know in some extreme bendy situations he has some trouble. Let's see if I take his foot up here. I don't really have it set up to limit certain rotations, but I know that his butt region is really having some issues sometimes. But this is pretty good. I like it a lot, and it makes me happy. So back to back to Fire Alpaca here. And so we are back here with the proof of concept, and I'm going to condense my world into something smaller. Gotta turn the pen back on. And then I'm going to try, and ultimately by the end of this playlist, I want to have maybe a 1 to 3 episode of just kind of what the universe would look like. Maybe not the exact characters as they will be in the final show. The story doesn't really have much to do. It's just hey, if there were characters in this world, they were on a quest, this is about what it would look like. And so I get a lot of my inspiration from either video games or anime, because I do sure watch a lot of that. I was checking my statistics on anime the other day, and it says I've watched 36 days worth of anime. That's if you put it all non-stop altogether. And I know that that's a kind of shooting myself in the foot here by saying that, because you think, oh, this is just some weeb thinking he can be popular in it. But no, I really want to take this seriously. I'm not saying oh, I want it to look just like the anime. Oh, I want to make it look just like my favorite shows. That's not it. There are... Whoa, okay. Future Colin here cutting in. It's a week later, and I am watching this back, and I noticed in this part here that I'm cutting out, I went on for a very long time, very confusedly, trying to make a point across here that I did not do a good job. And so I thought I would pop back in, let you know what I was actually trying to say, is that in this project I just wanted to include certain elements that comes from anime and other type of shows. It's really more of just a common solution that I'm used to finding in or noticing in all this different type of content that I watch, whether it be like how they structure an action scene or how they structure a powerful punch or what kind of music they play at what time or what kind of a story arc goes. Like, just the common ways that they tackle these problems in different medias. And like I said, I usually kind of gear towards the anime side of things because that's what I'm used to watching. And actually, I just found this video on YouTube the other day by DeLongu that portrayed the My Hero Academia characters as cats, and I was absolutely blown away at exactly what I'm talking about in this video here and how well he captured it, just kind of like the special effects of certain scenes. And I got that going on screen right now. Hope it's okay to use your footage. It's just an example. But anyway, it is just absolutely beautiful. I was so glad I found that. And that was basically what I was trying to say here. Back to pass column. So that's the tropes of things that I'm going to follow. I still want to make it my own. There's really, growing up, if anyone is following me on this and has had similar experience to this, they think, oh, here's this thing I'm watching right now. Oh, I want to be just like that. I want it to look just like that. Even this thing I've done in Blender, I think some of the reference images I used, I may have used this chibi thing, but like as far as like constructing the face and a couple other details, I think I was actually modeling these shapes off of My Hero Academia because I was just enjoying it so much at the time, and I still do. But this makes me happy, and I don't think anyone looking at this directly right now says like, oh, that looks exactly like My Hero Academia. I want to keep it my own. If there's something that isn't quite working, I want to figure out how I want to do to make it something enjoyable for me. Just kind of approach it in ways. I'm going to make my own style out of it. I don't know what my style is just yet, but I'm going to work on it. And so I don't remember what else I was going to write on this list. So proof of concept is going to be a small story. It's kind of like a test story. I wanted to try this whole concept of a proof of concept a long time ago, and I think I made this video here of like a knight character. Here's like what the knight wound up looking like when I got done, and here's like a small piece of animation of it, but I ended up losing that computer. The hard drive completely exploded, and I don't have it anymore, so that's why I didn't do that. So it's going to be a small story, just a few characters. Let's just type in few elements. Like, there's not going to be every little detail of the big world. There's not going to be as many characters. Maybe like skill set names and special attacks and things like that won't be as well defined. Like I said, it's not going to be canon where what I'm doing here is going to be some subtle reference or foreshadowing to what the story is going to become. I just want to test the idea of writing a story, a quick story of just like a quest or an adventure, have 2, maybe 3 people go through it, and try and follow the general rubric of how to write a story. It's a good word. If you ever need to know how to do something, go on Google and type in your thing in rubric and it'll tell you. And so I'm going to start out by coming up with some of those ideas. Actually, I'm going to take a look at my notes I was making earlier, because I had a clipboard going while I was playing Destiny. Those loading screens in Destiny take so long. I thought, let's get out a piece of paper and just write down some things I'm thinking about for this, and that's how this project got started. So let me get this notebook over here, or not notebook, clipboard.